Well, basically, this is down to a tyre championship and not a driver championship.
Well, Neil Crompton is out in the 111 Ford credit card. Not quite sure of the problems there. He was going extremely well in the first race, finished in 7th position, but Crompton's going nowhere this time. We go back to the Mobil 1 HRT cars. Lowndes and Skate got a familiar ring to it, hasn't it? As it was in race 1. It's looking pretty strong for that to happen the same in race 2. And Craig Lowndes was saying he was so relieved to get across the line in the opening one because he had a very big moment. We didn't get to see it, and he said that he almost lost it.
So good for Longhurst. Look at that. I mean, he's matching Skate in lap times. It's so nice when some of the playing comes together for something.
It's just typical of the Holden Racing Team operation. Bridgestone tyre technician Graham Brown in consultation with them after. I think the decision was to go to a brand new set of tyres for Heat 2 and really rub their nose in it. And they're certainly doing it at the moment. This is the battle between... This is Dick Johnson now. Ingle making up positions. Challenging him for 14th position, I think. We'll check that on our timing monitor, but he's continuing his move up the order. Let's hope he can climb into that top 10 and take this championship battle to Heat 3.
Yeah, you're spot on there, Mark. That is 14th position. Russell Ingle has just taken over, so he is on his way to 10th. If you've just joined us, we're in race 2 of 3. This is grand final day at Oran Park for the Shell V8 Supercar Championship. Craig Lowndes easily won the first race, and he's got a commanding lead in this, the second. Russell Ingle was involved in a first corner accident. This race was restarted, and he had clutch problems off the line, drifted right to the back of the field, and has worked his way through into 14th position, and he must finish at least 10th to take the series to race 3 to still keep his hopes alive, and he's doing extremely well, but he's still got to get past Alan Jones, Thomas Mazera and Steve Ellery.
You couldn't have a worse list, really.
You can see the speed advantage too, Baz, of the Bridgestone Shot Mobil Commodores. Last lap around, the only 2 cars running in the 1 minute 8 second bracket. Everyone back in the 1.9s and slower. They really are grinding into the ground here.
Just makes such a difference, Mark, if they had a control tyre for this series. It would just make it so much better for everyone.
Well, I think it's got to the point where Russell Ingle saying it's ridiculous. It's become a tyre championship, not a driver's championship.
Right,
I think they should be listening to it.
Well, proof of that is Tony Longhurst, isn't it? I mean, you can't have any better proof than that.
Here's a good battle. This is the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th. Mark Larkham in the Mitre 10 Ford. John Faulkner in the Better Electrical Fisher and Paykel Commodore. And we go back to Paul Romano, who sits in 9th position. He's just ahead of John Bow. It's a close top 10. There is John Faulkner's Bridgestone profile. He's been around for quite some time now. 56 starts in the championship. And he's battling there with Mark Larkham. He had some bad luck. He's had some bad luck this year, actually. He's been involved in quite a few accidents that haven't been his fault. But he hasn't whinged. He's just soldiered on the Better Electrical Commodore, and he's done a terrific job.
Battle for 7th position. Mark Larkham, John Faulkner and Paul Romano. Yeah, it was a remarkable effort. This car, after Hidden Valley, looked really, really bad. It was 2/3 its normal distance, or length, I should say. Really did cop a hammering in the back, and there was a lot of doubt whether they were going to get the car done in time. They just made it. I know John has a big contingent of Better Electrical people here this weekend, putting on a good show for his sponsors. Right up behind Mark Larkham. More than a couple of love taps there. Come on, get a move on. John Faulkner's on the charge. It's a great battle for 7th position. Great battles all through this top 10.
I think that John Faulkner's looking forward to too, as the Enduro's coming up, the Tickford 500 and the Australian 1000 Classic. He's been a very consistent runner in those 2 events over the past few years, and he'll be looking forward to that. So too will Tony Longhurst when he teams up with Alan Jones in the Castrol Ford. I was going to say, it'd be interesting to see how Tony goes at the on Mount Panorama this year. That remarkable drive last year with Charlie O'Brien from 39th to 2nd, then mechanical failure let them down. But Tony's coming good at the right end of the season, that's for sure.
Just looking at his lap times there, he's only a few hundredths of a second away from Scape in 2nd, and a couple of tenths behind Lowndes that previous lap around, so he's matching them for pace. A bit slower that time around. The gap between Tony Longhurst and Craig Lowndes up to 2.6 seconds, but he's looking far more competitive here than he has in a long, long time. You're riding alongside Jason Bargwanna's Valvoline Cummins Commodore, and you're right on top of his head here. Helmet cam, right on top of his helmet, looking through. Get a feel for just how much movement there is inside one of these cars. Tremendously high G-forces, particularly under braking and cornering. Drivers really do get a workout. Look at how hard that front tyre is working too. It's rolling off the rim, the sidewall of the tyre, under enormous cornering loads.
Well, we've got to say it again. I know we've said it quite a few times about this young guy, Jason Bargwanna, but he just keeps doing it. He doesn't necessarily have such a good first race. He comes back very strong in the second and third. He has come from 10th up into 4th position, Jason Bargwanna. He is working hard. Starting to bridge the gap to Tony Longhurst. They come under the Dunlop Bridge.
Ingle up to 11.
Well, he's one away.
Yeah.
Stephen Ellery's going to be the make or break man for Russell Ingall to keep this championship alive in Heat 3.
You've got to hand it to the guy, haven't you, really?
Well, he's never say die, is he? He just keeps attacking and attacking until he's got no more laps left. And that's exactly what he's doing here, giving it his all.
I like the philosophy, of Russell's. As we see here, here's the gap. This is the Conacher Commodore, the Holden Young Lions entry of Steve Ellery. He is right on the hammer of John Bower, but you can see the lights in the background there. That is Russell Ingall. Here he comes. So if he can catch up to Steve Ellery, he's going to be right there in the battle and in the thick of it with John Bower as well, but he's got quite a gap to make up there.
Well, so far we've heard nothing about any kind of penalty for Russell Ingall creeping on the start, and for one and all, there's no way you could be that theatrical, is there, really? Oh, John Paul.
Oh, he was just having a great run in that battle for 7th. Now, tangled with Paul Romano. Let's hope he didn't get caught up in any accident there. Looks like he may have got away okay. Let's hope so, because the damage at Hidden Valley really knocked the team's finances around. Here's the battle, though. Russell Ingall at the bottom of your screens. He's in 11th position. The Conacher Commodore, driven by Stephen Ellery. He's in 10th. Russell needs to get in front of that Conacher car to keep his championship hopes alive.
Well, how much ground has Russell made up in the last lap? He's on fire. This is great stuff. Under brakes. Right up on Stephen Ellery. This is the back of John Bowers, Shell Helix Ford. Ingall is right there. He has an inside look. He's got Ellery, so he's there. Ingall is in 10th, and his championship hopes stay alive for the meantime. He's got to stay there, though. This is lap 10 of 15. We've still got a bit to run.
He's catching JB pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, he's carrying plenty of speed on that car.